What's up guys, I'm Zenigami. We're going to go through the 30 Stamina Smoker Island. First stage is always going to be Smoker himself, and remember on any of the first 6 stages you can always get the secret stage, and the secret stage is Tashigi and 5 people. Tashigi with 5 friends. But first stage is Smoker. He will attack on turn 1 and he will attack every 3 turns after that. If you can try to kill Smoker on turn 1, then you can just move forward. Other than that, try to save yourself recovery so that we can heal back after that first turn. He will do 4,000 damage on that first turn attack. That first Smoker does have 300,000 health, so it's quite a bit to get over if you're not ready to handle that first Smoker. After that, all the other stages leading up to Smoker are not very hard unless you miss your perfects on a Gear 3 team like me. But the stages after that are mostly fodder stages with a couple extra guys to evolution materials to actually stall on. You'll have plenty of times. You'll have 2 waves with evolution materials on it, just like a couple of the other 30 stamina stages. Stage 3 here has a turtle on it, and stage 6 has a turtle on it as well. So, like always, kill all the guys in the back, and then stall on the turtle. Let the turtle hit you a bunch of times. Do be very careful while you guys are stalling. If you see on my Gear 3 team, I'm actually bringing Mihawk, and the reason I'm bringing Mihawk is so that way if I hit the Tashigi secret level, I'll have someone to actually end my attacks on. Because if you bring a strength-only team, that is one of the hardest parts that you'll get, is that on a strength-only team, a normal run you'll have no problems with, but if you do hit Tashigi, she can give you a very hard time, because she has a fair amount of hit points, and she has a pretty low cooldown attack. You can get Tashigi with herself and all of her units having a 1-turn attack. If you do see that Tashigi, you probably want to use your Alvida, your Golden Pound Usopp, whoever you have that's stalling on her instead of Smoker to keep you alive for Smoker. Once again, more fodder units, same thing. Try to kill the guys with the lowest cooldowns first. Remember, you can always click on characters in the middle of combat in order to change who you're attacking. That's always a nice little thing to do. Auto-targeting can get you in a bit of trouble, so if you just manually target, you'll know exactly who you're going to be hitting. Bing, thanks for the follow. Stage 5, once again, 1 unit, 1 big unit, 2 small units on stage 5. Remember, you can't always find Tashigi on any of these stages. And Tashigi will be the trouble that you get into if you have trouble on Smoker Island. Now, Smoker himself will preemptively deal, I believe it's... Smoker will preemptively deal 6,000 damage to you. 6,300 damage. Hey, speaking of Tashigi's secret stage, you want to make sure you take out Tashigi first. She will be a nice bit of damage, and since it's a Gear 3 team, I am going to make sure I end on the characters that aren't, as long as I end on not red. I'll be able to take Tashigi out no problem and try to take out some of her guys. So this stage is stage 6. Normally on this stage you would have 2 fodder units, a seahorse, a crab, and a turtle. And on this stage you'll have plenty of time to stall out on that crab and a turtle. But instead, since we have Tashigi, my cooldowns will actually be a little lower than they would normally be by the time I get to Smoker. But it won't be much of an issue. Smoker will not be a problem for us. And when we get to Smoker, Smoker will hit us first for 6,300 damage and bind our leader, our captain, not the friend captain. He'll bind our captain for 4 turns. And that's what we're bringing Helmeppo for. If you don't have Helmeppo, you can also bring yourself Axe Arm Morgan. And Axe Arm Morgan does double duty as also being a strength character. I'm gonna just take this turn and heal up those 2. Whenever Smoker does attack, Smoker attacks every 3 turns for 6,300 damage once again. Remember that whenever you have your captains, whenever your captain ability is locked, you don't gain that captain special effect, that captain ability. So when I only have one Gear 3 and my own Gear 3 is locked, you only get, after 3 perfects, 3 times attack. So you basically are at least halving your damage whenever you have one of your characters locked. One, 2, 3. You also need to worry about Smoker's 20%. If Smoker is under 20% and he attacks, what he'll do is he will bind both of your captains. So under 20%, Smoker will bind both of your captains, and you'll have a very difficult time after that. Okay. If I didn't hit that perfect, I might have been in a bit of trouble. That's it. That's basically all you need to know for Smoker Island. Watch out for Smoker's preemptive attack, and watch out for Smoker's lock. If you're ready for both of those things, make sure you're able to eat 6,300 damage whenever you hit Smoker, and make sure you're able to get rid of that lock some way. If you don't have a way to unchain, you can also just try to stall out for that attack. Because I could have used Skinny Alvita to take an attack while I only had one captain, and I could have used Golden Pound Usopp to buy myself some more turns. Following this, I'll be having a bunch of other videos of other teams to use, so guys, check that out. I've been Zenigami. Thank y'all. See you later. Y'all stay beautiful.